Hey y'all, so first of all I want to say thank you for viewing this video and welcome to my channel. So since I am still pretty new to YouTube, I don't really have an introduction video and I apologize for that, but I wanted to take the time out to kind of do a video that is more personal to me so that you guys can get to know me a little bit more. So as from the title of this video you can see, I kind of want to talk about my labor and delivery. Sometimes I do vlog, so you will be seeing my little boy. His name is Jayce. So I feel like this would be a perfect opportunity to get to know a little bit more about me and get to meet someone who will also be in the videos quite often. So let's jump right in. And also, if you like what you see, be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up for me, and subscribe. And you will probably also hear and see my little boy who likes to pop in and out of the video. I try to turn on puppy dog pals for him to kind of keep him entertained, but what can I say? Mom life. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with, I have a few notes in my phone. I want to start off with a few weeks before I actually delivered. And I'm going to say about 33 weeks is where I want to start off at. And my doctor noticed that my blood pressure was elevated. It was a little high, especially at one of my appointments. So they told me probably around 32 weeks it was a little high. And they told me to come back at 33 weeks to check it again. It was still a little elevated. It wasn't to the point of that they were worried that it might be toxic or anything like that. It wasn't that high, but they were just telling me if I ever felt like I was getting a headache or anything like that, to definitely get to the hospital as soon as I could. So at about 33 weeks, since my blood pressure was still a little elevated, he started me on non-stress tests twice a week. So I would have to go to the women's center, which is inside of our hospital here, and I would have to get hooked up to a little monitor that measured Jayce's heartbeats, and they could measure if I was having any type of contractions or anything like that, and if he was in any kind of stress. So I would get hooked up, I would lay in the bed, and I'd have to do that twice a week. They always came out normal, so I started to feel like I'm getting tired of this. You know, as the weeks went on, as my belly started to get bigger, getting up every morning. Luckily, I wasn't working at the time, so it didn't interfere with my job. But I kind of got tired of doing them, especially because my blood pressure wasn't going up. It was staying steady. I wasn't feeling any type of sickness or anything like that. So from there, about 37 weeks, let's fast forward to my doctor's appointment. Then I was starting to be on weekly checkups. My doctor told me that he would induce me the next week if I had dilated any. So he checked me. I wasn't really dilated. I was told that Jayce was head down, that he was low. At least that's what I was told at first. So I assumed everything was okay for me to get induced. But after that appointment, I want to say I went home, I started walking more, trying to do everything I could that I thought would help me dilate. I do want to say that the thought of being induced excited me so much because my fiance travels for work. So I would always think about the fact that this is Jayce, by the way. I would also always think about the fact that if I did went into labor on my own naturally, what if he wasn't here? So what if he was like, he often's in different states. So if he's in a different state, I go into labor, he can't get here fast enough. I didn't want him to miss the birth. So the thought of being induced sounded good to me because that way I knew what day I would be going in. He could take some time off to be there in the hospital, know that we could possibly have a baby soon. So that I was excited about. So like I said, I went home, started walking. I didn't drink any type of castor oil or anything like that. I know I've heard about it. I've witnessed what it can do. My sister used it one time for one of her pregnancies, and it definitely, I feel like, put her into labor, but I wasn't into any of that. I was doing squats and just walking, things like that, just trying to get some type of action going. Didn't feel anything, no contractions, nothing like that. So I believe back in my 38-week appointment, when I came back that next week, Jayce, baby. Hey. You good? At the 38-week appointment, I came back and my doctor actually wasn't available. He had like a bunch of other stuff going on. possibly delivering some other babies. So I got to see, I believe it was his nurse practitioner that was working under him, and I had never seen her before through any of my pregnancy. I'd always seen my doctor, Jayce. I'd always seen my doctor. So it was kind of like, okay, she doesn't really know anything about me and what's going on. And she checked me and everything. She was like, everything's fine. Jayce, baby. Baby. One moment, please. So yeah, she checked me. She said everything was fine. I had dilated, I think, to a 1. That's it. Nothing great, nothing exciting. A 1, maybe. So I heard that and I was like, okay, my doctor said that if I dilated, he was going to induce me, set me up to be induced. And she was like, well, usually we don't do that. I don't really see a reason to induce you. I was like, well, that's what he said. And so me being like first time mom, overly excited. I'm tired of doing all these non-stress tests. I'm just ready to like have my baby and everything like that. So I kept pushing the issue, and then she was like, well, let me check with him. He wasn't in the office, so I don't know if she called him or something or what, but she was like, okay, we will go ahead and induce you. I guess it was related to your blood pressure or something like that, so we don't want to put you in any type of risk. We will go ahead and induce you. I'm like, great. I called the Women's Center to get set up. They said they would see me that Monday at 5:00 p.m. So all weekend I'm like letting Jay know, okay, this is what's going to happen, so etc, etc. He tells his job. They're like, okay, that's fine, you can take that time off. I'm telling my family and everyone's getting prepared. They're like, gonna have a baby Monday, are you scared? I'm like, no, I'm fine. So stuff like that. So in my mind, I was like, I knew being induced they usually use Pitocin, and I've heard like Pitocin's like, you know, it gets things started, it gets to kick in, your contractions are going to get started, etc, etc. So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this. And this whole time I had in my mind that I wanted to have a natural birth. I didn't want any drugs, I didn't want epidural, I didn't want a C-section. I just wanted to do a natural birth because that's what I preferred, and that's what my sister did. She had 3 boys, natural birth. That's what my mom did. She had 3 kids. She had a natural birth. So I was really looking forward to, I don't know, not really carrying on a tradition, but for me personally, that's what I wanted to do. Didn't want any drugs, didn't want anything like that. So even though I'm being induced, so whatever, that kind of already kicks out my natural birth. But anyway, we get to Monday. My sister comes into town because she wants to be there for me. And she takes me to get something to eat, kind of like a meal before everything gets started. And she took me to Zaxby's, and all I got was a salad. Now, let me add, if I would have known what my week was going to be like to come, I probably would have gotten something more than just a salad. I mean, I'm at Zaxby's chicken place. Come on now. So I get to the hospital, and the nurses at the Women's Center were kind of confused about the fact that, like, why are you being induced? So I don't know. I didn't want to say because I wanted to be, but they're like, usually I don't induce this early, but you know, if the doctor's order, we'll go ahead and set you up and everything like that. I get in the bed. I already have hospital bags and everything packed like that. I get in the bed, try to get comfortable. The nurses are like, we're going to start you later that night on, I believe, it's a pill that they insert into your cervix that's supposed to like get everything softened and ready, stuff like that. I want to say I googled it and it was called Cytotec. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it was. And then I get the pill insert at night, and then during the day I would get a Pitocin drip, and I was supposed to, everything's supposed to work together, get labor induced and get it started. So first night I get the pill. The next day I get the Pitocin. They were like, nothing usually doesn't start until that second day. So the first day I didn't feel anything, so that would be Tuesday. Wednesday comes around, you know, I keep getting checked. You gotta keep in mind, like, so Monday night I get a pill, Monday or Tuesday morning I get Pitocin, Tuesday night I get another pill, Wednesday morning I get Pitocin, and by this time the Wednesday that the Pitocin is like supposed to be kicking in, I still don't feel anything. Nothing's happening. I'm getting annoyed because, like, the only pain I really felt throughout this time was just, like, kind of a slight back pain. My mom was like, oh, well, maybe you're getting contractions in your back. Sometimes that happens. I'm like, okay, yeah. I want to say, I have to check, go back to 2016 because I have to remember the exact day in 2016. Yeah, so I want to say Wednesday night rolled around. All Wednesday during the day, nothing was going on. Wednesday night came around, I was supposed to get another insert of the Cytotec. Sometime during that day, though, my water broke. I wasn't having any contractions. I wasn't dilating or anything like that. But I remember sitting in the bed. My fiance was on this side. My mom was on the other side. They're talking. My back is kind of hurting. So, and then I remember on the monitor that Jayce, you know, they had my stomach on the monitor so they could hear the baby's heartbeat. I remember hearing on the monitor a loud, like, boom sound. And at the exact same moment as that sound, I felt like this immediate just gush that I couldn't control. And I was like, my water broke. And so my fiance and my mom were so confused. I'm like, what? I'm like, my water just broke. And so they look and my mom immediately go get the nurse and like, her water just broke, et cetera, and they come in there, you know, and check me and everything like that. Well, maybe something's about to get started. I'm getting excited. My mom's getting excited. I'm like, my water broke. Yes, I'm about to start dilating. All things like that. So time keeps passing on. Gets into the night. They check me. I haven't dilated. I'm still not having any contractions. I'm sleeping just fine. Like, there's no problem at all. And then Thursday morning comes around. I'm over it. I think they were discussing with my doctor whether or not I was supposed to be back on a Pitocin drip, if that was supposed to be like on a higher dose or something like that. But nothing wasn't working. To just put it all into, like, sum it all up, nothing was working. Like, I thought Pitocin was supposed to be a magic drug. My water broke, but I still wasn't dilating. So that was really weird to me. So Thursday morning rolls around, and I might also add this is November because Jayce was born in November, and Thursday rolls around and it's actually Thanksgiving Day. Yes, it is Thanksgiving Day. In 2016 it was Thanksgiving Day in November. They're like, you're still not dilating. They keep checking me. They're like, your water broke, so we might have to do something soon. They're like, have you thought about a C-section? I was like, I don't really want a C-section, but as the morning kept going on, they talked to my doctor, like, well, your doctor should be in soon. You can speak with him about it. And by the time that he made it in, I want to say it was around 11 o'clock, he came to see me, made his rounds, and I was just over it. Like, I was kind of sad. I felt kind of guilty that I even came into the hospital because by Wednesday, I wanted to leave, but my water broke, and after my water broke, I couldn't go anywhere. So I was really sad. I felt bad, but I was like, we have to do something. We have to get me off of this bed, out of this bed. We got to get this baby out. So when my doctor came around, he was like, you know, ready to have a baby? I was like, yes. Yes. Capital Y-E-S. Yes. And he was like, you know, we're going to set you up for C-section and stuff like that. I was like, that's fine. Do what you have to do. Like I said, by this point, I just wanted it done. So Jay was actually with his brother because it's Thanksgiving Day, and he was like getting a shower in and things like that. And I called him. I was like, hey, I'm going to have to go ahead and do a C-section. And when I said that, he was like, I'm on my way. So he was on his way immediately. My mom was still there, and she was like, wow, they're about to do a C-section. Are you okay? Are you scared? I'm like, no. And like, I feel like as soon as my doctor left out of the room, people were coming in getting me prepped for a C-section, and people were explaining to me what's about to go on, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, just everything's getting prepped. I'm about to get moved. I don't know how Jay got there so fast, but he made it in time. I'm grateful for that. But I just remember going in, they told Jay to hold back. They were like getting him prepped with like gowns and things like that because he was the only person that I really wanted in the room. Even though my mom was there, I just wanted that personal moment with me and Jay, so in the actual operating room. And they took me in first, and I remembered I had to get like the spinal and all that stuff like that, and then they laid me down. And I remember the anesthesiologist was like, wiggle your toes, and I'm like, yes, wiggle my toes, I can follow basic commands, you know. And I swear in my mind that I was wiggling my toes, but I guess that's what everyone feels. And he was like, you're not wiggling your toes. I was like, yes I am. He's like, no you're not, but that's what we want. I was like, he's like, you don't feel anything down there. I was like, I swear I'm wiggling my toes, but I wasn't. So I felt like it took forever for Jay to actually come in the room and for them to get started. But by the time that they brought Jay in the room, I was getting kind of nervous. I kept saying to the anesthesiologist, like, you know, I'm really feeling nervous. I don't want to have like a panic attack or anything like that. So I don't know if he like gave me any type of meds. He's like, yeah, I see that your heart rate's getting a little elevated. But I was like, Jay, just hold my hand, talk to me, calm me down, stuff like that. And I remember someone saying, you're going to feel a lot of pressure. I do remember a little bit of pressure. I don't really remember like everything that was going on. But Jay says, like, you know, the way that they were pushing down on my stomach, he's like, I can't believe you didn't feel any of that. But that's what good drugs do, I guess. So it seemed like it took forever. But then I remember the baby's out, Jayce is out, and they're like, come on Dad, and they take the baby and Jay, they go out of the room. And I don't even remember hearing Jayce cry, but Jay says that, you know, since he was there, he said, I do remember when they pulled him out, he definitely was crying. Everything was okay, everything was fine. But I just remember laying there and I'm like, what, you know, they're taking him. They just told Jay to like, come on Dad. And I had already told Jay, like, since I have to do a C-section and I can't do skin to skin, please do skin to skin for me. When you get him, you hold him, just make sure you have your shirt off, things like that. He was like, I got you. He was like, don't worry about that. So he did that for me. And I just remember the anesthesiologist was like, don't forget to bring her back so Mom can see him. And it seemed like I was in there forever, but they did bring Jayce back in. And I just remember seeing that little face. I don't want to cry. But it was just the best moment. Like everything, all of the nerves and anxiety that I was having just seemed to go away. And I just remember like saying, I love you. I love you. It seemed like I love you was the only thing that I could get out. And I'm giving him a kiss, like, I love you, I love you. And they were like, okay, so we'll see. Well, he'll be waiting for you, Mom, when he comes out. So they went back out, and I just remember hearing my mom talking. So somehow she ended up on the other side of the operating doors because she did not want to miss anything. And so I just remember hearing her voice, and they taking Jayce, and I just felt like I was on that table for forever afterwards. It seemed so long, but I mean, I guess that's just what happens. But I got back to the room and they had weighed him, and I remember saying like, how much does he weigh? How much does he weigh? And they were like 6'9". I'm like, that's it? Like, what? 6 pounds, 9 ounces? That's it? But that's it. He was 6 pounds, 9 ounces. He was delivered Thanksgiving Day. I want to say it was around 12:34. I don't know the exact minute. Don't kill me, moms. Please don't. Everyone who knows like their child's exact times. I know he was born midday, Thanksgiving Day of 2016. So I just remember coming back into the room, and the nurse was like, we got to see if he'll latch. He's hungry. This baby's ready to eat. And he latched on, no problem. I'm so thankful for that. Even though all of that happened after the surgery, when I got back to the room, is kind of like jumbled mess, because I remember Jay has a picture on his phone, or somebody sent me a picture where I'm holding Jayce, and then Jay is like next to the bed, and we're smiling. At least I'm not, we're supposed to be smiling, but I'm kind of like, because I'm still so drugged up, and it's a terrible picture. I definitely did not post to any social media. I do not show to anyone. I don't know who has that picture. It might either be my mom or Jay, but it was a terrible picture, and I was just so drugged, and it was terrible. But anyway, I just remember I hadn't eaten all of these days. So I came in on Monday to the hospital, if you all remember, and then by Thursday I had Jayce, and I could not eat anything from that time. So later on that night, they were like, well, we're going to try you on a liquid diet. If you can keep it down, then you'll be able to eat breakfast that next morning. And I was like, if anyone knows me, they know that I love dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it. That is my favorite part of Thanksgiving holiday, is the dressing. That's what I want to eat. I couldn't have that. I didn't see any Thanksgiving food that day, to be honest. I saw a liquid diet. I saw Jello and like chicken broth, and it was the best thing ever. And I scarfed it down, and I thought I was fine, and then I wasn't. It all came back up. So they were like, since you can't hold it down, we won't be able to give you regular breakfast in the morning. We'll have to try you on a liquid diet again. I'm just like, I was so disappointed. You know, I was so hungry. So Friday comes around. I'm still having anything since that Monday before I went in. So it was probably Monday around 3 or 4 is when the last time I ate. It's now Friday. So I get a lovely breakfast of Jello and chicken broth again. This time I do hold it down. So they were like, you know, if you want lunch, dinner, that's fine. We'll bring you something from the cafeteria. But I told Jay, I was like, I want some dressing. So he went to the house, and, you know, my mother-in-law had cooked, and he brought me dressing and turkey and all pies, all that good stuff. So I ate it, but I couldn't really eat still. So it was like this huge plate of food, but I still couldn't really eat it. I tasted it. I was happy with that. The cafeteria food actually looked really good. I remember them bringing me in like a barbecue sandwich, which I wish I would have ate. Now that I look back in hindsight. So like, it looked really good. It smelled really good. And that's Jayce again. So let me look at my phone and see if I have any other notes. So that Friday, actually that Thursday night, I was actually up and walking after my C-section and everything like that. I was able to take a shower. I was able to stand on my own. I know a lot of people are like, they're miserable after a C-sections. They're in so much pain they can't move. But I was actually fine. Jayce, nope. I was actually fine for my C-section. I was up walking. I remember I took a shower, and they were like, we'll take the baby, take him off your hands and stuff like that. Because I think Jay at this time, I went to go get some clothes, and he was coming back that night. But I took my shower, and I remember the nurse helping me get my clothes down, and she looked at my scar, and she was like, where's your scar? Where's your incision? She was like, oh my gosh, the doctor did such a good job. She was like, you can't even tell it's there. I was like, what? So, I remember taking my shower, which felt like the best thing ever, was to take a shower. And I remember walking to the nurse's station. It's like, hey, where's my baby? And they're like, are you sure you want him back? It's like, do you not want to go get some rest or something like that? I'm like, nope, I just want my baby. And they're like, you're doing really well. So I was thankful for that. I wasn't in a lot of pain. So Friday rolls around, and I have more family come see me. And I'm feeling fine, you know. And I think Friday starts to sink in the fact that I'm a mom now. I did have a slight problem with Jayce feeding that day. He just wanted to sleep. And they were like, you know, we have to wake him up. He has to eat like every so many hours. So since you're breastfeeding, you have to make sure he gets all his nutrients in. And Saturday rolls around. We go home. I was still fine. I think Saturday, later that evening, I did have some pain, but I didn't really want to take the medicine that they had prescribed me, because I think they prescribed me like hydro or something. And I heard that that can transfer through your breast milk, and I didn't want to take anything that would make Jayce more sleepy, drowsy, anything like that would stop him from feeding. So I ended up just taking like an Advil and just like suffering through it. I think I did end up taking one of the pills that they prescribed me just to sleep, and I don't even remember if it did anything for real. Also that night my breast milk came in, which is a whole nother story. So I just want to say, definitely be prepared when your breast milk comes in. I wasn't, and so that was a rough night. Other than that though, I didn't have any complications with my C-section and stuff like that. I kind of felt guilty that I didn't get to have my natural birth. I kind of felt like, well, if I would have just waited and not been induced, maybe I could have had that natural birth. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that, you know, I had a healthy baby. He's here. He is now, that 6 pound, 9 ounce baby is now a 27 pounds last time we checked. 15-month-old that runs around, gets into everything. He's so smart, at least to me, but like every mom says her child is smart, but you know. He's definitely a rough little boy. I love him so much. He's literally like the best thing that's happened to me. I still can't believe sometimes that I'm a mom. I look at him and I'm like, what? I did that? You know? But overall, my pregnancy, it was a smooth pregnancy. I didn't have any morning sickness. No morning sickness, no pain, nothing, like none of the usual stuff like that. So it was a really easy pregnancy. Only thing is I just remember being really, really hot, like all of the time. But other than that, I want to say that's my labor and delivery story. You know, so I ended up staying in the hospital from Monday night through Saturday, like, evening. That's how long I was in the hospital. And no contractions. I never got to feel any contractions, really. Overall, I'd have to say if I, you know, have another child, I had to do it again, I'm definitely going to wait to see what happens naturally if I, you know, go into labor on my own. I definitely want to look into, I believe it's VBAC, which is like, you know, a vaginal birth after cesarean section or after C-section. I've been looking into it. A lot of people say that they have had successful ones. Some people haven't been able to get that, but I would rather not get cut again. Even though I didn't have any problems with my C-section, I still would think it'd be kind of cool if I could experience a C-section and a like vaginal birth, you know. So I still want to get my natural birth in if I can. If I, you know, if it causes any type of risk to me or my future child, then I won't do it. But I would like to do that. So if anyone has any comments or any stories to share about VBAC, definitely let me know. I'd rather hear successful stories, but if either way, I just like to know about anyone's experience if they have done that. But I want to say that's my labor and delivery story, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you liked this video, you enjoyed this video, if you want to know anything more about me, feel free to ask me in the comments. Feel free to give any video ideas that you might want to know about me. Go ahead, subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and come back for more. Thanks. Jayce, you want to say bye-bye? Mickey and Jayce want to say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. His little fingers are doing that. Bye, guys.